All right, so we have the Five of Cups. We have the Five of Wands. We have the Queen of Swords and the Eight of Swords. Bottom of the deck, we have the Five of Swords. Okay, so you guys got fives. So lots of fives. Definitely talking about, changes. Fives also talk about like obstacles, challenges, but they also talk about freedom. So, just keep that in mind. Let's see, I'm trying to think of what 555 actually means. I know it's like a change is coming in. Yeah, but it's like if you're, because 555, it means, change is coming in, but like if you are going against the change or you're kind of fighting against the change, just kind of not going with the flow of the waves, or, with the air, I should say, because there's so many swords. If you're not going with the flow, then it's like, if you're resisting, it's going to be harder for you. It's really going to be challenging. But if you're just going with the flow, you're releasing that control, it's going to take you to where you need to be. It's going to actually be a good change for you. So keep that in mind, Scorpio, because like I said, you do have 5, 5, and 5. So, all right. So Scorpio, as I was saying though, with the Five of Cups, it does feel like you could have recently gone through a breakup or, just a loss of somebody, because this is a mourning, this is regrets, this is sadness, this is loss. You see how she's focused on the 3 cups here kind of spilling out into the ocean, but not really realizing that, all is not lost, because behind her, she's just not acknowledging it. But behind her is this full bottle with 2 cups that have not spilled over. There's a picnic basket underneath that table. There's still the balloons. There's still the celebration, but she's choosing to mourn over this loss. So yes, something could be heartbreaking. Something could be bringing on the sadness. It's kind of that, it's my party, I'll cry if I want to. For some of you, I almost keep getting like a, like a pity party type of situation. I don't know why that song by Melanie Martinez came into mind, Pity Party. I think that's what it's called. I'm like so bad with names. But it's almost like you've got so much good around you, but you're choosing to focus like on the negative, or that's what's like really impacting you. With the Five of Wands, again, that's causing some kind of confusion. This is causing some kind of struggle. For some of you, you may be suffering from depression. Maybe that's what's so hard. Maybe that's why it's such a struggle. Maybe that's why you're so focused on the negative aspect of things. And, that's okay. Because there's help out there. Reach out to, a friend, to someone you trust, to, therapist, if that's, the way you need to go, whatever it is you need to do to, get on that better path, especially the path of healing, setting up healthy boundaries and knowing your worth, Scorpio, then that's what you need to do. There is no shame anywhere. So don't let anybody, say that there is, because there's not. Focus on you, focus on that healing, focus on moving forward. Like I said, it could feel like there's a lot of gossip around you. It does feel like some unwanted or unnecessary drama, especially around this loss. With the Eight of Swords here, this is you just kind of feeling stuck, almost like kind of trapped in your own mind, trapped in your thoughts, like, I don't know what to do. That bound is like, she's like, tied up around her eyes, her arms are bound, again, just kind of stuck. She's just kind of almost imprisoned, like I said, in her own mind. That's why, again, for some of you, I'm strongly getting that you are suffering from depression, or, something. This could be because of what's going on in the world. Again, it could be something having to do with family, within a relationship, again, take it how it resonates. This is a general reading. But it does feel, like I said, once you remove that bandage over your eyes, you're going to be able to see things clearly. Right now, it's just you're not seeing things clearly. You're not seeing things for what they are. With the Queen of Swords, though, the Queen of Swords, like I said, that's stepping into your own power. That's taking off that blindfold. That's raising that sword, taking one of those swords and using it to set up your own healthy boundaries and saying, no more of this. I want truth, honest communication. And if you can't give me this, then, there's the door, because I'm not going to, I'm not going to put up with this. I'm not going to feel this way. I don't want to feel this way. This relationship or this situationship, like I said, whether it's between friends, family, a relationship, it should not be such a struggle to maintain it. With the Five of Swords, somebody could be kind of playing some mind games here. I keep getting that somebody is trying to be controlling of a situation. Scorpio, this could be you, this could be your person. Again, take it how it resonates. But it does feel like somebody is trying to control a situation, and all it's doing is just kind of hurting someone else's feelings, or like confusing somebody else by it. Because it's almost like I'm going to do whatever I need to win or to prove my point, and I don't care if I hurt your feelings. That's what I keep getting. All right, Scorpio, let's clarify the Five of Cups. We have the Seven of Wands. We have the King of Pentacles, and we have the Two of Swords. Okay, so you could be dealing with an earth energy. This is honestly, it's struggling to find your... I almost want to say composure, but it's struggling to find, that security. It's struggling to kind of just find, where you belong, your stability. I keep getting, like I said, somebody could be suffering from, mental illness, depression. I mean, all sorts of things here. But it just feels like somebody's really kind of struggling, like I said, to really kind of find that security and that stability. Seven of Wands, this is being very defensive. Like I said, it feels like somebody's trying to prove a point. They're going to go to any lengths that they need to prove this point. Two of Swords, this is having to make a decision. Again, blindfolding yourself instead of looking at the situation for what it's for. What are you afraid to see, Scorpio? What are you afraid to see in this relationship that you keep blindfolding? I keep getting the truth. You're afraid to see the truth. All right, clarifying the Five of Wands. Yet again, we have the Queen of Swords. We have the Five of Pentacles, and we have Temperance. So again, something feels very off balance to me. Something feels very one-sided. Five of Pentacles, it feels like you're scared of being abandoned. You're scared of loss. You are scared of being put out in the cold. So this could be the ending of a relationship. That has you really kind of clinging on, really just kind of focused on that negativity instead of, the positive, which is this could be a way, this could be a catalyst to start that healing process. Okay, hopefully the train's not picking up as much. Okay, so I have to show you the difference between these two queens. So this particular Queen of Swords, she has her sword drawn. It's up there, communication is rolled up. She still looks a little defensive, okay, especially with the sword completely up like that. With this particular queen, she has it holding in her hands. For me, this is really kind of saying, like, I'm ready to communicate. I won't settle for anything less than the truth. I'm not as defensive now, and I'm seeing things clearly. Setting up those boundaries, like I said, that's the most important thing I'm getting with both of these cards. But like I said, it definitely feels like somebody is triggering somebody else's insecurities. Okay, so Queen of Swords. Let's clarify this Queen of Swords. I want to know what she is here for. What is she all about? The Moon. So again, there's that confusion. There's some secrets being kept. Three of Wands, waiting for an opportunity. Again, more swords. So you could be dealing with an air sign. As many swords that are out here. Again, this Nine of Swords, that's that nightmare card. That's stress. That's anxiety. That's worry. Again, it could be speaking of, somebody undergoing surgery. Somebody, having a mental illness. I keep getting that somebody had a breakdown recently or is about to. And I am not a legal I'm not a legal professional either, but I'm not a medical professional either. I'm just saying what I'm feeling, what I'm picking up. So again, take it how it resonates. If it's not resonating for you, that's okay. It's a message for somebody out there, possibly the message that they need to hear to, seek help, to seek, professional, help and guidance. With the Moon card, again, this is talking about some kind of confusion, but it's also talking about secrets coming out. It's talking about being able to see things coming to light. Maybe you weren't ready to see it, but it's like they're going to have to come out eventually. Yeah, and then that Three of Wands, like I said, it's just really waiting for those ships to come in, waiting for some kind of opportunity. Yeah, Five of Swords. We have the Four of Pentacles, we have the Death card, and we have the Two of Pentacles. So this is really hanging on to something that is just kind of over and done. It's like It's like you want to prevent the ending that's already kind of happened. It's like you're just hanging on to a situation that you need to just put in the past. Two of Pentacles, again, you know, that you're juggling. You're needing to move forward. You're needing to, you know, you're not balanced. There's not... See, he's standing on the little rock there, kind of just juggling, balancing. And it's just like something is so off right now. I just keep getting, and then with his eyes closed again, I keep getting that you're not looking at the situation clearly. So maybe by removing yourself, or, you know, just talking to a trusted friend or something, they can help you with some kind of insight. But yeah, Four of Pentacles, and like I said, this Death card, it's definitely, I don't know if you guys seen that, but my light kind of flickered. It's definitely kind of talking about something that needs to come to an end, something that really needs to change here. Scorpio, something needs to change here. There needs to be a big transformation. Again, somebody's hanging on too tight, not letting go, not releasing something. And I think that's what's causing, you know, kind of like causing all this stress, all this worry, all this fear. It needs to be released. It needs to be let go of. Yeah, bottom of the deck, it does feel like with Justice. Again, this is talking about balance. This could be talking about some kind of karmic debt. You know, it could be talking about a lot, but it seems pretty relevant. All right, so we have the card of within the next few months and then improving health. Okay, so that's good, Scorpio. You know, like I said, for possibly somebody out there could have need to undergo surgery, or again, this could be like a mental illness, depression, but you know, you're improving your health. You're taking those steps to improve something, you know, to improve that mental health, that surgery, whatever it is, and that's good. That is really, really good. That's being proactive, and that's what you need to do, Scorpio. Look out for you. Look out for number one. Sometimes we have to put relationships on the back burner and focus on healing ourselves first. That way we attract the partners that we deserve and that truly deserve us. All right, Scorpio, let's get... Okay, so we have home. So yeah, so for a lot of you, it feels like you are truly in search of either a new home, like an actual home, like buying a home, or this is really kind of just saying that you're in search of that soulmate. You want to feel welcomed with somebody. You want to feel at home with somebody, at peace with somebody. So yeah, and it feels like there's going to be an opportunity here. So like I said, it takes, you know, working on these steps, letting and releasing something from the past before you can move on, before you can see that door fully open. Because right now you're too focused on the door on the bottom here being closed. And see that clock to the right of the door? It feels like this is talking about divine timing, or this is a time-sensitive, time-sensitive situation. All right, Scorpio. Any cards for Scorpio, please? All right, so the more loving care you give yourself, the more love you have to give others. So again, talking about that self-love, talking about, you know, caring about you. Then we have on the top deck, souls that belong to each other will always find their way back together. Beautiful. So Scorpio, if that situation you're holding on to in the past, if it is, you know, meant for you, it's going to find a way. If it's not, again, you know, you're never going to know until you fully release it and try to move on. If you're putting that much energy into something, sometimes it can backfire, especially if it's not meant for you. All right, let's take some Law of Attraction cards for Scorpio, please. You have it's manifested. So new desired realities already present in your life. Vibrational alignment astrology gives edge. So perfect. So check out your chart. See what's going on in there. Maybe that can offer some kind of guidance, some kind of help. But it does feel like you are manifesting and some good things are coming your way. So that is good. That is great. Like I said, it feels like you're taking the steps to start that healing process and to get yourself back on track. So some good things are coming in, Scorpio. Just be patient. All right, one last message, please, for Scorpio. This is the Island Time Wellness Love Oracle. So we have mall crawl, so on the hunt, retail therapy, meeting at the mall, pleasantly surprised, and a happy find. All right, so you could be surprised with something that you are finding. Could just be doing, like it says, you know, a little bit of retail therapy to kind of get your mind off of things, but again, that's not going to start the healing process. So make sure you do take the good steps to start the healing process, because on the bottom of the deck we do have relational abuse, which is notice red flags that may be emotional, physical, or sexual, financial in nature. Ask for help in any situation. So very important, Scorpio, notice those red flags. Okay, don't ignore them, and definitely don't accept them. All right, Scorpio, that is what I have for you. Thank you so very much for watching, and until next time, take care.